We want to, my name is Michael Kohler, and this is Dinah Van Donsel. We're members of the High River Performing Arts Foundation. We want to take about 10 minutes of your time to talk about our project, and then we're going to give you 10 minutes to go get a beer and order some food and get some ice cream and stretch a little bit before the next set. Yeah, there's been much talk about performing and creative arts space in High River for a number of years. And what the High River Performing Arts Foundation has come to is that now it's time to make it happen.
Thanks, Michael. So the purpose of the High River Performing Arts Foundation is to provide a public space and help advance the appreciation of the arts. And so today is the day where our fundraising campaign kicks off into high gear to promote that public space in High River and give the professional equipment and proper facility for the arts and culture to thrive in High River. And we call it the venue.
So this outdoor space, we have been calling the venue for the last 3 years. What we are really aiming for is to have a 3-story, 12,000 square foot performing and creative arts space right here. In the last 6 weeks, we have been extremely busy. Part of it has been concerts. So today, if you want to listen to the Red Hot Hayseeds again, you want to go back to one of the Foothills Jammers songs, you can go to our YouTube channel and you'll be able to see them and some of the other concerts we've had this summer. But we're not just all about music. And so back behind you here, our mural project was a collaboration between 6 different artists, youth artists, and a Mexican professional artist that worked together over about a 6-week period to paint our backdrop this year. We have 6 high school students that are working with our sound and video tech program. And so 2 of them are working the show today. They've been learning from a professional sound engineer throughout this summer. And so that's a mentorship program that we've been able to offer. Yesterday we had 3 rock bands on this stage, and then they didn't quite get enough, so then they had an open mic here yesterday afternoon. And what a fantastic opportunity to be on stage, to be behind a PA, and to just kind of feel what it's like to be on stage and to cut their teeth that way. There is lots that's happening in and around this space. What we are really hoping to do is make it more than just a summer activity and do it throughout the year.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. So as you can hear, the goal of the foundation is to create a space where seniors, where adults, teens, and children from all cultural and economic backgrounds will find entertainment and inspiration from the musicians, the actors, the directors, the stagehands, the painters, sculptors, photographers, videographers, and the recording engineers that will come to use this purpose-built facility, the professional equipment, and the increased opportunity to perform and create and then collaborate.
And to make all of that happen year-round, we need to gather $1 million by the end of this year.
So let's put that into perspective. If you can imagine that $1 million may only buy 2 nice new homes here in High River with about 4,000 square feet. So I'm having you visualize that. You might be wondering how we will be able to build a 3-story arts center, as Michael mentioned, with over 12,000 square feet of studio space and professional equipment for the same amount of money. So how are we doing that?
So the answer is that we need $1 million from the community because everybody asks the same question. They say, well, if I'm talking to a community member, they're asking, so what about the town of High River or the government of Alberta or the government of Canada? Have they kicked anything in? And then as we write grants, well, you know what? The grants are actually asking the exact same question. And so we are now to a point where the community, it's now time for the community to take the next step. In grant applications, we have submitted this summer $6 million worth of grant applications, and this fall we have another $3 million of opportunity. Those grant applications are asking, has the community put in any money? And so that is where the next step is. And so it is now time that we've got grants that are in front of us and are feeling very optimistic, and we fit the criteria really well. And so now it's time for the community to take that next step.
So on that note, we'd like to thank the Town Council, Roger Reed and John Barlow, for supporting these applications as well. It is amazing the amount of grant money that is out there, which gives us lots of excitement and motivation. So it's now time, like Michael said, for our community of High River to take the next step to show our desire for a purpose-built arts center. So our fund development team is very confident that we can secure government and community grants to build the venue. And if we can find the $1 million in our own backyard, the time to do it is now, while there are some very promising grants on the horizon.
So I've got kind of two questions for you that I'd like you to mull over. So I know you're here because you like to listen to live music, but I wonder if you've also thought about the health benefits of creating music. So we're putting out the message today that I hope that you will think about how you can support this project to not only bring entertainment to town, but to also help adults, children, seniors, and teens tackle the challenges of the day by creating art, music, being on stage, or being in a class.
Awesome. Okay, so now let's talk about how you can move your money to support this project and how that will help let us know that we are on track to build our purpose-built venue.
So we've all been around large fundraising drives. And I'm kind of guessing that if you can think about a way that we might be able to track, how we get into $1 million by the end of the year. If I kind of do this and I make you think of a thermometer, I'm going to kind of guess that you've probably seen that somewhere before. Well, since we're an arts center, we can't do that. But this image on the side here is our version. So here is our Paint by Numbers challenge. So we're looking for $1 million. That is an image of the architectural drawings that we've created and have actually been quite consistent over the last 3 years. That image is in lots of other places, but it's our Paint by Numbers challenge. There are 510 sections on there. Now, for the mathematicians around, you're going to kind of look and you're going to notice that some of the spaces are smaller and some of them are bigger. And so, are the smaller ones worth more or less? And you know what? Let's remember that we're an art center and we don't care so much about ratio and proportion. So there's 510 spaces there. If you do the math, we're looking for $1 million. How many dollars for a space? Who knows? What's your guess? What's that? $2,000, $2,000. So what we're going to do, starting this afternoon, right now that's a blank space, but I also want you to recognize that we're actually not starting at zero. So we have actually made a significant roll towards $1 million, and so we're just asking people to help finish it off. And so even this afternoon, we're going to start painting in some spaces. And after the intermission, we're going to work with what we had when we walked in today, but we're also going to work with what has been coming at the table even throughout today. Because while some people were back here enjoying the music, some people were back there writing checks. And so that is our way to track our $1 million campaign.
All right, so my job now is to tell you how there's 3 ways to do that, potentially. So there's a QR code on the table around you, and that will take you to our website, and that describes the process. So we, like Michael said, will take checks, e-transfers, and PayPal transactions of a one-time donation, but we can also accept monthly contributions. The key is for us that we need to know how you want to support this project, and that then is reflected in our grant funding. You'll also see a link on our website through that QR code. And if you're thinking, I don't know what a QR code is, just Google the venue and you'll land on our site as well. And the link on the site will send you to a donor form. This form gives us the information we need to provide you receipts, since we are very recently a registered charity, which is really exciting for us. And so we then have the evidence in our grant applications, again, that we have the support from the community.
So while you think about how you might be able to provide some inspiration and entertainment for throughout the entire year, not just summer weeks, not just on weekends, and for generations to come, because this is an investment into a building, into an art center that is going to be here for a while. We also want to talk about how you might be able to get one of these fancy T-shirts, and how you might be able to get your name on the wall of the venue forever.
Well, I'm now going off script because
Oh, yeah.
Larry I met earlier, there he is in the back. He's already bought my shirt off me for $200, but I do need to find a substitute. Although I did sell Steve Penman's shirt off his back, and that's probably okay. Where is he? Back there. Anyway, so back to the boards, as you can see in front of you. This is an opportunity to leave a legacy in the venue. It'll be engraved with your name or a group name on our wall of the venue for a donation of $5,000 or more.
So that can come in lots of different ways. Perhaps, I believe it's the first one there. This says the Gordon family. Perhaps you just write a check. And maybe it's a $5,000 check or more. And we put your name on a pallet that will go on our founding wall in the venue.
The same thing happened with the Goodwin family. And they came together with all of their siblings to honor the memory of their parents. And so they have pulled together $5,000 for their board for our wall as well.
Maybe you're part of a service organization or a company, so you'll see Highwood Lions on there. So they were one of our very first donors, and so maybe that's how a name gets on the founding wall.
So the founding wall, if, again, you take it upon yourself to bring together $5,000, we will honor that gift for generations on the wall of the venue.
So like Dinah said, $200 gets you a T-shirt and a nice, comfortable way to recognize your contribution.
So it may seem like a lot of information, but the process and possibilities will become clearer and clearer. We don't want it to be confusing, but rest assured that our volunteers, so anyone that has a T-shirt on, unless it's Larry, well, probably by the end he'll know what's going on deeply as well. They can answer your questions and help find a way perhaps for you to support our project.
What we hope is really clear is it is time for a performing and creative art space in High River. And so anything that you can do to help make that happen sooner than later is very much appreciated.
Thanks, Michael. If you have just joined us, we'd like to welcome you to the venue and the kickoff to our venue fundraising campaign. My name is Dinah Van Donzel, and this is Michael Kohler, and we are two members of the High River Performing Arts Foundation.
So over the past 4 years, our foundation has been working to provide a public space. That's one of the things that we want to do here to help seniors, adults, teens, children find inspiration and entertainment through their involvement in creative and performing arts. Part of that comes from providing a space for concerts like this, but our summer has been filled with many other activities that show the value of arts and culture in our community.
So, for example, yesterday, the Rock Band Showcase and Youth Open Mic were two great examples of the power of the venue. Through the efforts of grant writing and community sponsorship and private donations, we had 15 young musicians who had the opportunity to play on this stage. So aside from their ability to build skills and provide entertainment, obviously, each of those young artists walked away with, a great sense of confidence and energy and ideas and motivation. And this all helps them prepare for their next performances, for sure. But it also helps them tackle, the real challenges of life. And that, too, is also so important to recognize. Those health and mental health benefits to everyone, whether you're on the stage or as the audience.
So just like today, and actually last Saturday and yesterday afternoon, our space was full. So there were people walking by the sidewalk, and I'm, there's many of us back there kind of going, well, there's a little spot right up there, and maybe right over there, and so it is fantastic to provide local rock enthusiasts the ability to find entertainment here in the High River instead of traveling to Calgary. But it was also important to know that many of our audience members yesterday were from Calgary. And I mentioned that to recognize that by building a venue here, it's part of the economic development of High River. It's part of the economic development of the community. So we can talk about what young people have by creating the skills to create, or creating the skills to perform and provide art and entertainment. But then a venue like this, what it does to boost the economic activity in our town.
So interestingly, after 4 years of development and promotion, the High River Performing Arts Foundation is now, we're having to actually turn away people, artists and, events and opportunities because we don't have a roof or walls or indoor plumbing, but we do have a nice porta potty, which is great. So now it's time to build the venue to provide those opportunities to artists and audiences and local business owners year round, because this in November is really difficult to do.
In the first intermission, if you weren't here or you were off getting a drink instead, we talked about our Paint by Numbers challenge. And so our challenge by the end of this year, the end of 2021, is to raise $1 million for this community to say that we want a performing and creative arts space. So we want to create a 12,000 square foot purpose-built creative and performing arts center. Will cost much more than $1 million. But we are confident in our foundation that the remaining funding can be secured through government and private grants once our community steps forward and says that, yes, I'm behind this.
Great.
So it's time for us to take the next step to $1 million.
And earlier we talked about the fact that we've got about $6 million of grants out there that we've written and are looking forward to.
And another $3 million coming this fall.
Awesome. So, and this is so great. We're already on our way. Through donations from people like you, our painting is starting to take shape, which is so cool. If you've taken the opportunity to visit our website today, this is key, I think, that people know that you will see that as of this morning before we started, we were at $185,705. So that's $185,705. That's pretty cool. And that's what when we started before today. So that's great. And so we started painting in 92 of our 510 spaces on the painting. But because of today, we were able to paint number 93. And so thank you to everybody here. Thank you to the Foothills Jammers, to the Village Brewery, to our Red Hot Hayseeds, and to you all for joining us here today and spreading the word.
So I want to remind you that we are a registered charity. So any donation throughout the year over $50 will get you a registered charity tax receipt. If you want to get a t-shirt, that will go to anybody with a donation over $200. If you want to paint your own section, so that painting will stay up as long as the weather helps us do that, and then, I don't know, to live in somebody's basement for time after that. And we will continue to update our website on our tally and filling in our painting. But if you want to paint a section on there, $2,000 donation, and you could come up and pick your own section and paint it. And if you want to get your name on our wall, our founding donor wall, there's 3 examples up here about families, in memory of organizations, service organizations, companies. So that comes with a donation of $5,000 or more.
Awesome. May seem a little complicated, but the one thing is clear is that it is time for our purpose-built space, creative and performing arts center in High River. And the High River Performing Arts Foundation is here to help make that happen with you. So thank you.
So we will hope that you will visit our website, thevenuehighriver.com. Everything that you need to know about the venue, about what we've been up to, what we want to do, where we're at in fundraising, in design. If you want to be part of volunteering and help us put together perhaps even our summer series next year. All of our contact information is at thevenuehighriver.com. If you're somebody who's sitting around a table, there is a QR code that you can find that will scan and will take you right to our fundraising page. The key thing on the fundraising page is that it will take you to a donor form. And so if you still have questions, or if you have some old technology and you want to use a pen or a pencil, then there are some fine volunteers back at the table that have a paper copy of the donor form. But you can find the donor form online. It essentially gives us everything that we need to provide a tax receipt. And then it also helps us understand what your goal of giving is. So if you're not able to write a $5,000 check today, but you want to get your name on the wall, we're going to help that happen. That's what we do. Somebody comes to us and said that we want to do something on the stage, we're going to help it happen, and we'll work with you to honor your donation or your company's, your organizations, or your family's donation in any way we can.
Perfect. So please do what you can to help us build the venue and make all of this possible throughout the whole year.
So I was reminded today about, I'm going to go off script here a little bit. I was reminded today about a conversation I had with somebody about 3 years ago. There's really one of three things, actually, there's three things that we need you to do to help this happen. One, find whatever you can in your bank account to donate to us, small to large, it'll all help. Two, keep coming to shows. You come to shows, you show people that this is sold out, and we can show that we need this throughout the entire year. And then three, please, go talk to your neighbors, tell them about the venue, and invite them to invest in their community.